It takes an army sometimes to quit a habit, but whatever it takes, if it takes telling people things, if it says, hey, Alicia, call me and ask me if I did it today. So I knew what it took for me. It took me leaving my environment, right? Because your personnel reality creates your personality. So I have triggers all over my house that create it. I go in the bathroom and I sneak it. I go in the bedroom and I sneak it. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to get out of my house, all these triggers. When I left my house, it was so easy. But now I separated it and now I have these triggers and now I have things that go, Jolie, you've already gone so far, you're not starting over again, right? So now it's like almost easy. I'm going into home base, because when you've come so far, I got to start all over again. It's kind of like AA. Every time they have a drink, they got to like start their day all over again. They got to start from day one. So do whatever it takes to get you to quit, to honor yourself, to be accountable, to put the bananas in the freezer, to prep your work, borrow people, ask people, hold people accountable, do what it takes. Health wasn't high on my list. So it boils down to your beliefs and your values. You could go, oh my God, Jolie will smoke a vape. She's so into health. Not really. I'm into freedom and doing what I want when I want. I'm a brat. And then I like to have a vice. And then I like to be a little bad girl. So like I was telling Jay, I don't think I told you this, but inner child work is huge to do, to love your inner child. So I have this little bad girl in me that wants to be a bad girl, right? Remember eating the cookie, and I want to eat the cookies. And before my vice was I was a night binger, and everyone would go, oh, you're so fit. And I'd go home and eat the whole kitchen. And then I'd be like, for real, I would eat like whole boxes of cereal kill everything. And then you're really fit. And I don't know, I would sabotage it because it was like, I'm not as great as you think I am. And it took so long to break that. And what took breaking it was loving my inner child. It was like, big Jolie's here to take care of little Jolie. Little Jolie, if you have a cookie, it's okay. You're not so bad if you eat the cookie, right? I couldn't make it heavy and significant, which is another one of my rules that we'll get to. But tunnel vision, and so you have divergent and convergent focus. So convergent is very tight. This is how I got Boyan to quit his soda, because I got him his soda. When you think of something you love, your vape, it got up close. It's like, yeah, vape, it gets colorful. It's right here. It's like we can't get rid of it. But if we black it out and we move it away and we get rid of the color, it's not so in our face. It becomes divergent. So you want to open up your focus. An open focus is more breathing. A convergent focus is more like, I need it now. It's tight. It's right here. It's like the kid who ate the marshmallow, right? How long can you delay the satisfaction? So me and loving the little girl in me and loving, it was a girl from the audience that got me to quit though. Cause she was like, I was like, a part of me wants to eat the cookie and a part of me wants to stretch. And then I was like, but the part of me that wants to eat the cookie always wins. Like the stretching never wins. So then she was like, can you just love on her and just love your little girl? And I was like, the whole thing disappeared. I was like, yeah, I was like being so hard on myself for not putting the bananas in the freezer. It was like, just put the bananas in the freezer and stop being hard on yourself. It's like something so simple that if we just do it, it all goes away. Now I'm actually in the inquiry. I'm like, do I need another vice? It's like so stupid. I'm having stupid conversations with myself right now. Like I need a vice and I'm missing a vice. And how could I actually have no vice right now? I feel like sharing it and maybe putting a skeleton in my closet. It's like a weird space to be in because I've never not had a vice. It went from the night eating to the vape to, yeah, it was always something, but now it's nothing. It feels pretty good. I'll keep you posted if I get another vice. It's almost like, can you handle how good you can be, right? It's the Marianne Williamson quote, I have it in my book, is the thing we don't fear, it's not we fear our power, how powerful we could be. So we sabotage ourselves. But it's like, oh no, we can't be that good. So we throw like a wrench in there to be like not as perfect as we think we could be. So allow yourself to be powerful. Like, I don't need a vice. It's not something I have to have. I don't have to have a vice, right? I don't have to go search for a new one. So being clear that like little Jolie's growing up, big Jolie took care of little Jolie and now we're both grown up and I don't have to be a bad girl. And if I want to be a bad girl, it's not being bad if I eat a cookie, right? So it's like, how crazy can we get in our heads of I'm bad if I eat a cookie, right? And then who says who? So we got to work our way around those disempowering thoughts that we have in our head. So integrity. Integrity is the act of honoring one word and keeping an empowering context. What does that mean, an empowering context? Well, I'm going to tell you what it means from Alicia's example. Alicia, 2 weeks ago, remember she had the OGC, she had the group, but then she needed to sleep. And then she needed to go to, she was waking up for Hong Kong, but she had to sleep. And then she had the flight the next day. So she had to decide, should I do the OGC? Should I sleep? Oh, and then she had this rave. She was like, I'm going to a rave. I can't come. That's an empowering context. So she has the commitment here to be here. She promised herself to be here. She promises us she'll be here. She's part of the group. All of you are important to how the dynamics of the group. That's the point of group coaching. That Rami says something and it affects Zoe when she gets home. And Jay says something and all of a Simon thinks about it when he gets home. You never know how you're affecting the other people. That's why also be fully self-expressed, because you never know who you're going to save. You never know who you're going to help. You never know who you're going to inspire. So when she was like, oh, I have a rave, I can't come, that's empowering context. That's supporting who she is, what she wants to do in the world. So when you have two things that you have commitments and you made promises to, kind of like I told Alan I would do dinner Friday. And then I said, Alan, now I cancel early enough. I say, oh, I have this family making me dinner for my birthday. That's my empowering context. I have to choose. I have two things and I got to pick one over the other. So it's empowering, but it's not empowering if she was like, I'm going to the gym and I can't make it. She could go to the gym another time. Or the time that she said she didn't sleep, but she was going to make it, or she canceled one thing, that other example where she canceled one thing and she didn't want to do two things she said she didn't do, so she made the choice. That's where choice comes in. You make a choice with an empowering context. What she chooses is better than here. So putting your bananas in the freezer, every time you don't put the bananas in the freezer, life does not work. The only empowering context it could be is if you locked yourself out of the house, or you couldn't get home, or you were out and you slept out and then you couldn't make it and you didn't want to drive home to put the bananas in the freezer. Those are reasons that could be empowering. Like, I'm not going to drive an hour to put the bananas in the freezer, so tomorrow I'll put extra bananas in the freezer. So integrity is honoring your word, which I had no clue until I learned that life does not work without integrity. There's no integrity because there's no empowering context that could be better. Anywhere your life is not working, integrity is missing. Period. End of story. Like if your relationship's not working, your time not working, your job is not working, there's something you're saying that's not in alignment with what you really want, and you're not following through on it.